Welcome to another, to my first team builder for WCBL Season 3. Um, this week we are going to go up against TB, coach of the Vancouver Milotics, and yeah, his team is up on the right, like usual, sort of tiered it in what I think he is most likely going to bring, and sort of like threat wise. And my team is on the left. My ZU move users is that Crocodile and Delphax. His is the Celesteela and the Linoon. Looking at his team, uh, he has a few threats depending on how he decides what kind of sets he brings on them. First off, we have Gengar. Gengar is a real problem because it outspeeds all of my team except for Scarfers and my Crobat. And basically can get coverage for everything on my team. It also is his best answer to my Cresselia, which is probably my best wall on my team. So I would be completely shocked if he did not bring the Gengar. Celesteela is his Z-move user. It is also a great wall to Kyurem Black, depending on his spread, as well as Sakataka. Can wall the Cresselia as well. Can wall a lot of things on my team, including my Mega Heracross, a good wall for my Crobat, and yeah, can fire off, be ran offensive as well, and get a KO with its Z move easily. Rotom Wash. I expecting him to bring most likely a Scarf set. Helps outspeed my Crobat and get the fast momentum with Volt Switch. Water and Electric is nice for my team. Useful for my Crocodile, which can take the Volt Switch, but will not like that Hydro Pump coming off of it. Could easily help deal with Cresselia as well with tricking it a Scarf or any of my other supportive mons. Sylveon, probably his best wall to my Kyurem Black. Fairy is also nice because it can hit the Crocodile, it can hit my Mega Heracross, and it also gives him a Cleric as well as Wish support to keep his team healthy. Not Swallow. Swallow can be a threat, especially or physically, and sometimes it can do a lot of work just by the fact that if I'm expecting like special and prepare for special and then he brings physical, it could blow me back if I don't prep for that. And if I prep for physical but not special, then it could put in a lot of work. Outspeeds a lot of my mons as well. Kid, and then Donphan next up. It is his. Yeah, I'm 100%, like 99.9% sure that it's the only mon on his team that gets rocks. For some reason, I always think Alolan gets rocks, but it doesn't. Gives him a rapid spinner to get rid of rocks on my side, and my only hazard removal is that defog on Crobat. So if he could easily win the Hazards War with that. It also helps wall a good chunk of my physical threats. Walls Stack Attacker, Walls Crocodile, Walls Crobat, and yeah. It also gets that sturdy, meaning it can take a hit except for Chiron Black, whose ability negates that. It wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility of him bringing these last 5. Alolan Muck is probably most likely to be brought of those 5, though, because Dark is nice to wall Cresselia Stab Psychic, as well as knockoff support, and yeah, it's a pretty decent wall, especially with Gluttony and a 50% berry. Why I didn't put it up in the top 6 is because I do have that Crocodile. I do have Stack Attacker. Mega Heracross can do a lot of damage to it, as well as Chiron Black with Earth Power. And yeah. Also might be brought because I do have the 2 Psychics with Delphox and Cresselia. Moving on, Breloom. Why I don't think Breloom will be brought is, in fact, those 2 Psychics as well as Crobat and the Gourgeist can easily wall it, while Crobat would get hit by Rock Tomb as well as Delphox by Rock Tomb if he decides to bring that, but they outspeed it and will most likely kill it before it could use that. Its usefulness, though, could be with Spore, putting to sleep my Mons on the switch-in, as well as Technician Mach Punch can do a lot to Chiron Black, Stack Attacker, Crocodile, Kangaskhan. Next up, Pyroar. Pyroar is not as likely as the previous 2, but probably not going to be brought of these 5 as well as Lanoon, just because of their normal typing. Normal isn't very useful against me. Fire could, and I don't really have a weakness to fire either. So probably not going to bring that Pyroar. It does get Moxie, but it's like physical attack is so weak, it's not even that useful, and it's really hard to get a kill with it, even get that Moxie boost. Lanoon could be easily run Belly Drum, but even with that Belly Drum up, Stack Attacker can take any hit. Crocodile can easily intimidate it. It can't take out Mega Heracross, and I'm pretty sure it can't take out Chiron Black, or even maybe Cresselia with Shadow Claw. I'd have to check that calc again. Standard Cresselia set versus Belly Drum Lanoon, just to make sure. Yeah, even at +6, Lanoon is not doing anything to Cresselia, which is quite sad. A crit would have a chance of taking me out, though. Of taking it out. Last but not least is his Mega Ampharos. Mega Ampharos Electric Dragon. Even though I don't have a Fairy Dragon, I don't really see Mega Ampharos's Dragon typing helping it, because I'm pretty sure it doesn't get Draco. I could be wrong on that. I think it's only Dragon move is Dragon Pulse. Yeah, Dragon Pulse, Hidden Power, Dragon Outrage is its Dragon attacks, and that will not be as useful. Electric's okay. Is okay against me, but once again, Corvus, Chrysalia, Chiron Black, Crocodile can easily eat those up. So can Electros. Does get Focus Blast, so it could possibly be useful to counter if I decide to bring Trick Room against him. It is a slower mon and can be useful for that. But yeah, don't really see the Pyrolinium or Mega Ampharos coming at all. If he does bring them, then it just means it's an easier game for me. So, moving on to my team. First off, I am bringing Plasmius the Crobat. This time I am bringing Choice Banded. The reason why I am bringing this Crobat set is because it will outspeed all of his team, including that Gengar, which is a threat. Pursuit will take it out on the switch, and Brave Bird can take it out if he does not switch out. But if I bring Crobat in on this Gengar, I am fully expecting him to switch out unless he is sashed or scarfed, and then it's not as much as a threat, and will not be able to knock me out. So it is still fine to click the Pursuit because it will be a 2-hit KO and knock it out anyways. Brave Bird hits. It's just a hard-hitting move. Can hit that, take out that Gengar in one move if I am not expecting him to switch out. Useful for Breloom, useful for that Alolan Muck. U-turn is there for momentum if I am completely fine with him switching out. Cross Poison is very useful for that Sylveon, which will be a problem keeping his team healthy. Gonna run Infiltrator. Supposed to be Infiltrator. Problem with transferring over mons. Infiltrator is nice in case I switch in and his Gengar goes for like the sub or something. Then Pursuit will still. Well, I think it has a chance of knocking it out. Let's see. Sorry for not knowing this off the top of my head. Actually, no, it doesn't. But Brave Bird will still be able to go past that sub and take it out. Brave Bird is also useful for that Donphan. Moving on, I am bringing Princess Dorothy the Vaporeon. Leftovers, physically defensive. Wish, Scald, Heal Bell, and Protect. Since I do not have hazard removal on Plasmius, I will need this Vaporeon to help keep it and my other Pokemon healthy, and I figured since I am trading Vaporeon, dropping Vaporeon for Tapu Fini after this week, I would at least bring it to this game to show off its skill. Heal Bell is to heal possible burns or paralysis coming off of the Rotom Wash and any toxics on my defensive walls. Speaking of my defensive walls, I am bringing Desiree the Cresselia. This time with the Light Clay and screens, Light Screen and Reflect. is useful for weakening all his attacks. Light Screen is useful to weaken that Gengar's potential. And Rotom Wash, as well as special Swallow. Reflect is nice for if he decides to bring Alolan or Breloom. Reflect is also nice for that Donphan and certain types of Celesteal. His Celesteal, I would expect him to bring a physical, just because if it runs Earthquake, it could hit my Stack Attack a lot harder than any other Steel move it could possibly use. And yeah. And if it is special, Vaporeon could wall it, as well as Cresselia, even though Cresselia could probably wall it anyways. Psychic is not doing that much to his team. It is useful for his Gengar. Psychic won't be doing anything to that Alolan either. Magikarp is there to bounce back the Leech Seed coming off of Cresselia, or Toxic from that Rotom Wash, or that any of his other bulkier mons that would run Toxic. And yeah, if he does decide to bring Alolan, that is fine, because I can easily switch out Cresselia. Not even fearing Pursuit, it won't do that much damage to me anyways. And I am bringing Box Ghost, the Stack Attack, up this week. Mainly because I feel like I can catch him off guard with it. It pairs well with my Cresselia with the screening, and it can beat down that Alolan, which Cresselia can't do anything to. Shoppleberry is because basically he has a lot of fighting coverage on his the fighting coverage I am most afraid of on his team, not really the ground weak Earthquake or Earth Power or whatever kind of ground coverage he has. Not really afraid of that, because I do have Plasmius and Desiree, which will not take any damage from them. Choppleberry, that Gengar could get Focus Blast. Breloom gets fighting moves, and Focus Blast could come off of that Mega Ampharos or Brick Break from Alolan if he decides to bring it. Trick Room, because with the Choppleberry I can take any one hit from Specs Gengar, and that is before screens. After screens, I am taking things quite well, and I can easily set up the Trick Room. Gravity is nice so that I can launch the Earthquakes onto that Celesteela and Rotom Wash, which otherwise would eat my hits. Gyro Ball will do a massive amount to Gengar and Swallow because they are super fast, so don't really need the Stone Edge for Swallow. Gyro Ball will be able to take out an offensive Broom, and it will take out Linoon quite easily, and Earthquake can basically take care of everything else. Depending on the Sylveon set, I believe Gyro Ball could possibly knock it out, but it will most likely be a 2-hit KO. So Stack Attack is probably going to be like maybe a late game sweeper for me, because I need to get some chip on the Celesteela, because it will be a 2-hit KO onto that, as well as Donphan can take a few hits from it as well. Same with Rotom Wash. So try and chip those down and then pop them with Stack Attack. Get those defense boosts. Not really afraid of special attackers besides that Rotom Wash. So if I can get a kill and get that defense boost, I will be taking the Earthquakes from and can 1v1 the Celesteela and the Donphan. And with screens up, that is going to be a whole lot much easier setting up the Trick Room and Gravity. To chip down that Celesteela, Rotom Wash, and Donphan, I am bringing Technus, the Electros, Salt Vest. It is nice to help Wall take some hits from Special Celesteela, from the Rotom Wash, from the Gengar, from Special Swallow. Volt Switch helps gain momentum on everything except that Donphan. Very useful for that Celesteela. Giga Drain can help me deal with that, chip down the Rotom Wash as well as the Donphan. I'm running Acid Spray to lower special defense. My opponent, it's mainly there for Breloom, which otherwise would resist the Volt Switch, and Giga Drain knockoff is to knock off choice items, leftovers, the sorts, maybe a Flame Orb on the Swallow, maybe an Assault Vest on the little Muck, which could be a problem. Acid Spray is going to be really helpful, especially since I am bringing Prince Aragon, Chiron Black, Choice Scarf. This time I am bringing a fully special set. So with that -2 Spadef, I can basically KO anything with this. Scarfed at speed 184, outspeed Scarfed Rotom Wash. And I can bop that with an Earth Power. Can bop the Gengar with an Earth Power. Flash Cannon is there for the Sylveon, and Ice Beam is hard hitting stab to take out that Donphan. And I can also start dropping Draco Meteors after the Sylveon is gone. So that is it for my team builder. And the battle will probably go up sometime after this battle, maybe tomorrow, maybe right after. But hopefully we can win with this team and give Princess Dorothy a win before we drop it. Bye-bye!